Good morning and thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast this Tuesday morning. I'm Ibrahim Shita and I'm not the only one in the studio this morning. I'm joined by Theophilus Elama. Good morning to see you.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a hardware thing this morning.
Well, I remember the last time we did this. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Once in a while, this will happen.
Absolutely. So I believe that we're going to be having interesting rides today. We'll have more of this, in the coming days, really. But then today we'll be looking at several potpourri of issues, talking about the gaming activities, looking at the National Lottery Act, which has been nullified by the Supreme Court, the attendance, consequences that would definitely pose for state and federal government. We'll also be looking at the food production with the Nigeria-Brazil Pact. And then finally on the show, we'll also be talking about the power infrastructure because it has been an ongoing conversation. So we just need to find a lasting solution. So we hope that some of these conversations would definitely help in the process of finding a better, Nigeria. Right, but quickly, let's start with the issues, recent news coming from the NBS, because globally unemployment remains a significant macroeconomic concern. However, in Nigeria, the situation appears to be improving as more individuals find their footing in the entrepreneurship sector. According to the latest report from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's unemployment rate declined to 4.3% in the second quarter of 2024, indicating better labor market conditions. This was a decrease from the 5.3% recorded in the first quarter of 2024 and a gradual recovery from the 5.0 percent in the third quarter of 2023. Now, the report also highlighted the prevalence of self-employment, which accounted for 85.6% of total employment, as well as an increase in informal employment. That's a good news because, when we talk about Nigeria having unemployment issues, we always feel, okay, so this is a global thing, it's a global trend, but when you look at issues globally, we need to localize it. How do we solve our own problem, rather than exporting, the good hands that we have, and especially when we hear that the unemployment rate has dropped to 4.3%. The key fact for me here is that it actually seems like good news at first glance, but if you look at why this really matter, this figure is based on new method of calculation that only includes people actively looking for work. It doesn't fully account for underemployment or those discouraged from seeking jobs. Also, if you look at the gender regional gaps, men have lower employment. That's 4.3% compared to women, 6.2%. So go to urban areas, it shows higher unemployment, 6.0%, then rural areas, 4.3%. So that's actually likely due to more informal jobs in rural areas. Look at the youth. We have some other people also living in the country, the jackpot syndrome. Others are looking for job. Some are still looking for job within the country. Those who are not able to go out and make way or find a way out of the country. So it's actually improving. The unemployment rate is improving, but it actually remains high at 8.4%. It's still quite high. For me, given the large youth population in Nigeria, this is still, much of a challenge. Theophilus.
Yes, it's still much of a challenge, but we should also give kudos to the government for this decline in employment rate in the second quarter of 2024. It signaled improved labor market relations and all of that. So it's important that these little wins, we can highlight them and celebrate them, right? Because I don't just come here and talk about the ills of the government. 4.3% reduction in unemployment rate is quite significant.
That's right.
And it means that a lot more people have gained employment. A lot more people, their lives have been improved. Remember, if one person gains employment in a family, it's not just one person that benefits from it. At least 5 persons benefit from that person. So it's quite an improvement from what we have seen over time. And it's quite commendable. We hope that we can keep this up to ensure that the fortunes of Nigerians can be improved.
Absolutely. So if you look at the improvement signs, underemployment, that is people working fewer hours than they want, it has actually dropped to 10.9%. Formal jobs are increasing slowly, but self-employment still dominates, especially in the rural areas. If you look at the statistics that I read earlier, reading the intro to this conversation, they said the report highlighted the prevalence of self-employment, which accounted for 85.6%. So telling you that informal sector is largely driving the economy of Nigeria. And so the government policy, the government reform, we believe that the economic policy seems to be working to some extent, but we need more. We need more of the renewed hope agenda to help people, get, right on track in order to contribute to the overall economy of Nigeria. The bigger picture for me here is that this drop reflects some progress, but many Nigerians are still dealing with low quality or unstable jobs. And then we also talk about infrastructure, the power sector, the energy sector, the different sector, transportation, everything. So we need to get all of these right on track. So does this drop in unemployment reflect reality? Nigerians are the judge.
Nigerians will judge all of this, of course. And if we are seeing that it's actually reflecting on reality, then we know that the level of livelihoods of Nigerians have been further improved. So let's see how it goes in the next quarter. That's from January. Let's see how it goes and see between January to March whether we have maintained this
gain
pace, maintain the pace, and if it has improved further, then it means that we are getting somewhere. It means that the policies of the government is now seeing the light of day.
Absolutely.
And we are going towards paradise.
Absolutely. So we just continue to hope and pray and also work in tandem with the government's plans in order to get Nigeria high there at the apogee. Well,